in the log I already upload to you about the material that I give the title Secure by Design. Actually, the Secure by Design is reflected from the McKinsey report, yeah, about the current state of the security issue in several organization and institution. We need to see that secure by design is one of the very critical things, yeah, and very critical for organization that need to more aware about security things, yeah, and set up everything that they need to ensure that the organization have the good security level. Yeah, so that's why secure by design will have very important roles on the organization, because we will try to develop the company or organization that really have a high level of the awareness on the security. So that's why they will try to define and identify and also develop the security plan and also the security strategy in the first place, that when they want to start some activities. It is different. I think that will be one of the characteristic of the modern organization, yeah, because in the previous type of organization, I think not all the organization will have some same curiosity on it, yeah. So maybe they will realize that they need the security after they have something that disturb their activities, yeah. So that will be also the important point of this discussion. So based on the McKinsey, they report that a lot of now organization, especially international organization, especially in the banking industries, yeah, and healthcare, industrial, and insurance, they lead into the secure by design approach, yeah. Why it's happened? Because I think we agree and also we realize that, like in the organization or company that work on the banking industry, healthcare, industrial, and etc., I think they really close with the risk, yeah, and then also they also work close with the something that very need have attention on it, especially in the security things, yeah. I think when we talk about banking, I think, yeah, I think you and me also understand about it, yeah. So that's why in this graphics, yeah, you can see that the dot green that representing the banking industries, they are in the very well protected quadrants, yeah, on the security things, yeah. So I think it's also verified by the industrial standard that most of the industrial banking, healthcare is one of the industry that implemented a very high level of the standard, especially in the security. It's also happened in the healthcare, I think. Even we realize that some of the before the pandemic, I think industry in healthcare, I think, is not really care, yeah, about the security level. But after the pandemic, I think they now more critical and then more aware about it. Yeah. So that's why healthcare now become one of the leading industries that have a lot of attention on the security point. Yeah, and industrial is also same thing, I think. Yeah, we have like in the oil and gas industries, telecommunication industries, and also manufacturing industries have some issue on it, yeah. So but the problem is I think when some of industries is already have very good attention on the secure by design principle, I think the implementation still have some challenge, yeah, because some of the organizations still struggling on the to build the culture of resilience. Yeah. So most of the organizations still work on the principle of how the business just as usual, yeah, run as usual. But unfortunately, when they do not really think about how to make our business and our organization have resilience characters. So this has happened because all the organization think that to protect the asset or digital asset, they just need to to implement same technique or same methodologies. Yeah. So the technique, they want to secure the information system on the database with the data that they have in the file-based system. I think it will be same. Yeah. For example, on the using the encryption and something else. But I think you already know that when we learn about the security things and also the cryptography something, I think we also believe that we need to have a very unique, unique approach on every asset that we have, yeah, to manage the security level of each of the digital asset. So that's why it's very important to see this one. So I think this is about the paradigm or the culture of organization. They if they still still thinks about the same way, I think it will be a very dangerous today. Yeah. And then the next is they still thinks that more, or if they spend more money on some things that try to securing something, it will be related with the more secure that they will be. Yeah. But unfortunately, I think it's not. Yeah, because sometimes if we spend a lot of money on the invest, especially on the spending of the securing asset or digital things, sometimes it's not really rely on the security level. Yeah. And then the third is sometimes they think that the external hackers, yeah, the foreigner from the outside of the organization, they think the hacker only treat in the corporate assets. Yeah. But unfortunately, they not realize sometimes the intruder it can be came from the insiders. Yeah, from the hacker from the inside the organization that we call the insider. Yeah. So that will be also one of the issue on this in this case. And sometimes we think that the more advanced the technology that we try to implement, it will be more secure that we are. Yeah. But unfortunately, I think it's not in that way too. Yeah. Sometimes when we have the more advanced on technology, it's not really related with the technology. Sometimes is opposite from that condition. And the more advanced technology, it will be open the race. Yeah. So that will be also the point that we need to consider. So the main point of this slide, actually, you can see that building a culture of resilience is one of the goal on the secure by design that we want to discuss today. Yeah. So the question is how we do that one. Yeah. So that will be very important. It is like I think the current condition, like pandemic or maybe like a natural disaster that we have in Indonesia. So I think the choice now is about building a resilience of for the pandemic and then the natural disaster. Yeah. But the preparation on it is not cannot be like if happen we just react from that event, but actually like maybe we can learn from the other countries like Japan, yeah, maybe and China, Korea, and European countries. They already prepare mitigation and also have some design. So every people in the country will have same level on the preparation of the risk. Yeah. So that would be also the most important things. Yeah. So it is also we can see why a lot of organization still not aware about the importance of security by design principle. Yeah, because we can reflect from the the business leaders. Yeah, the business leader, most of them is focused on the business pure. Yeah, so not really aware about the the security things. Yeah, so it is reflected from the composition of the C level or chief level of organization. Most of them is will be placed by the business C level position. Yeah, but unfortunately, the the security C level is very is very limited. Yeah, so that's why it's also reflected how the organization actually is not well prepared and well designed when they have the risk, especially on the cyber security issue. Yeah, so that also important things. Yeah, I think until now, not I think when we see several company or organization, we can see that not all of them in the board of director, for example, is placed by the chief security information officer or something. Yeah, so I think that also one of the concern. Yeah, but we can find one organization or one company that they already implemented the things. Yeah, so they have a C-level position, a chief of security officer, for example, or a chief of information security that is placed in the board of director and then responsible for everything about the security in the information application and data inside the organization. So that will be reflected that the organization is have a secure by design strategy. Yeah. So that will be the important point of this slide. And we can find a reason why secure by design is now is very important for organization. I think the clue is about the risk on the cybersecurity itself. Yeah. Uh, the first is sometimes we realize that the tweet that happened to our organization is not always dominated by the hackers. Yeah, on the person outside the organization and then try to tweeting our organization. But sometimes and maybe mostly now it came from the insider. Yeah, it is reflected by the very simple sentence in here that insider takes sensitive data via flash drive, for example. So I think when we see this sentence, it is not only just about the flash drive method, yeah, to stealing the data, but this is like reflected the current situation today. Yeah, like it is like also about the some of the behavior, and we ask it is also about some of the a policy of organization, and also maybe in the every node that we use for technology access in the organization is not completed with the technical operation standard that makes something maybe this event happen in the organization. Maybe you can see like maybe when you go lunch from your organization, for example, maybe people not aware. Yeah, they just let their laptop is open, no user and password that implement on the desktop or in the operating system, and then yeah, everyone that maybe sit in your chair for just rest, but see your computer is open, and then he access the web. That's what happened. All the data and information inside your computer, it's very easy to transfer to the cloud storage, for example. So that will be the meaning of this issue actually. Yeah, this is like it's very reflecting our our today activities. Yeah, yeah. So I think you can see the rubber ducky installing worm. Yeah, I think it's also same thing. Yeah, I think same method. I think. Yeah. So the rubber ducky worm and etc. Is one of the technical implementation in my set. Yeah, in my perception about how we get the access to the digital asset. Yeah. So I think a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of things. Sometimes we for example, you request to your friend download some plugin or maybe some application in the browser or maybe in the desktop, and then you not realize it exists in your computer, and then when your computer is start, it will be, will be do something, yeah, that you not realize it will be give you some trouble in the futures. I think that's also same thing we can see on the ransomware or something that do same things, yeah. So that would be the important. So in here's that the visible in hints from this, this event is the inquiry is made to senior executive about time file being created and deleted. Yeah, so that's very important. Yeah, and the previous lunch of I learned something, and then I watched the news report from the international news, yeah, and then they just have some event that the student in the school that they have the the laptop to do the exercise and assignment in the school. After they go from the sport activity, unfortunately, they open the netbook, and then what happened next is all the data and all the operating system is already uninstalled, yeah, or reformat the operating system, and now they try to find out who the suspect of these activities. Yeah, so I think that also the issue on the on this event. Yeah, so yes, it is like the visible hint that we can see. Yeah, and then the typical response is, yeah, the IT security teams does not realize that the data are being treated. Yeah, so that one of the issue on it. Yeah. Yeah, I think if there are backdoor red installed, are there even such hints? Yeah, sometimes, especially when we discuss about the backdoor, yeah, in many application, in many form application, and the backdoor is try to to do something that actually not treating your system, maybe not will be not disturb your operation on the when you use your laptop or maybe your system. But unfortunately, the backdoor is like there are two kind. Yeah, the first is they like use your resources, your computer resources, to do something for their benefit. Yeah, for they take the benefit from it. For example, and then the second is they treat your data. They try to copy paste and etc. But for the application, actually, it's many things. Yeah, sometimes like ransomware, they try to do some acquisition on your system, and then they will lock your system, and then you cannot do some operation on your system. And what next is you need pay some money to have some key to open your system and etc. So that also happen too. Yeah, so a lot of things. Yeah. So that will be, but mostly, well, yeah, in the pure way, backdoor is not will be in the first time it will be not the user will be not disturbed by the backdoors, but after they found something wrong in the system, the user will be realized that something happened in the backdoor. Yeah, something like that. I think like several maybe month ago, we found a news that I think Intel, yeah, Intel or Nvidia. I'm forget the company. Oh, I'm sorry, Huawei. Yeah, sorry, Huawei. Huawei have some issue in here. Yeah, they have the issue that the European and also the American government try to blame the Huawei that they have some program or source code or something that do some backdoor activity to stealing the data across the network devices by Huawei and send to the China. Yeah, so also that things. Yeah, when they try to to make it as a problem, Huawei say that they do not do any, they're not responsible for that, and then not do that one. But after the investigation, unfortunately, Huawei found by themselves that yeah, there is interception on the system that they implement in the China-based production. Yeah, they add something in there and then make it happen. Yeah, so that's why I think the CEO of Huawei just have some problem on it, and just I think several days ago, I think just released from some of the processes. Yeah, so that will be. Yes, of course, the vector can do anything on the system because they have already access and have some some access in the very deep directory. Sometimes it's in the root, sometimes in the user that have some privilege like like root. Yeah, it's not always root directory actually, but sometimes they can use my home directory. But unfortunately, me as user have the privilege as administrator. Yeah, so it will be also can happen. Yeah, so that will be the first reason why we need to consider about the secure by design. And the first reason is because the insider is take sensitive data using your flash drive. Yeah, and the second is about discussion is about the reason is about not only just about the activities, yeah, that we explained in the first point. And then the second point is the more, I think, more dangerous, yeah, because the insider that success have the access to your system and get the data, they will have the opportunity to do something that they want to with your data or your system. Yeah, mostly they will give or sell employee data to cyber criminals activities. Yeah, not only just using your identity for not only just for make some fake account in the bank, but also sometimes it will be used for do some fraud or illegal transaction. Yeah, so that will be one of the important things. Yeah, so yeah, data loss, it will be very important. So that's why in the principle hints, data loss are sent to the security lead in the IT organization. We need to design the system that have the capabilities to give the alert, yeah, when the data loss is happening. Yeah. So that's why in this typical of the response, the team focus on the forensic of the alert, but it's not able to connect a previous notification. Yeah. So that's why in here that you need to understand that the importance of the personally identifiable information or PII, it's very important to be one of the commodity that we need to secure on the cyber security. And the third reason is the cyber criminal sell the personally identifiable information data to identify thief and on the black markets. Yeah, so that's why this is very important because I said before, it is not only about the information on data, but the most important thing is what happened after they have the data. Yeah, so that will be also the important things. Yeah, so that's why we need to very clear, very very aware about it in the first place. Yeah, not only just waiting until the system down or data already breaches, and then we set the perimeter for security, but we need to think in the first place what the risk and what the worst that will be happen in the future, and then we try to minimize the risk that happen in the future with the good strategy on secure by design. Yeah, so that's the at this point. Yeah, and then the next is wait a minute. Yeah, so what is actually after we seen the reason, yeah, about why we need the cyber security by design or secure by design, actually we try to move from the traditional cyber security focus into the comprehensive cyber risk management approach. Yeah, so the current approach on the on the security that maybe we can call the secure by accidents, is actually using the traditional security focus. Yeah. So the focus is only about the data, the people, the infrastructure and application that we call the asset. Yeah. And then we make some control on it, and then the process. Yeah. but we're not aware about another layer that very important on the cybersecurity. So you can see in here, the comprehensive cyber risk management approach have the very comprehensive and more complete layers. Yeah, same with the traditional cybersecurity. Our focus on the data, people, infrastructure, and application as asset, make some or build some control on it using the appropriate processes, but using the organization, so it will be more formalistic. And then we have the governance. Yeah, the government is set of rules or set of standard that we implement for managing the cyber security. Yeah, so that's why the previous material about the cyber security framework and also the cyber security management, it's very important because it will be and reflected the comprehensive approach on the security. Yeah, if we have the governance, we have the organization, it will make us more better and then more well designed on the cybersecurity issue. Yeah, so that's the most important. And this slide, you know, will be very, you know, it will be very become the differentiation. Yeah, why we need the security by design. Yeah. So we will try to discuss more deep about this approach. Yeah. So hopefully you will understand about what the feature on the secure by design that we talk about. Yeah. So the next discussion is about why we need to shifting, yeah, from the traditional approach into the new approach on the secure by design. Yeah, this is the common pitfall that happen in the organization when they have the issue on the security. Yeah, sometimes if the security event happen and make some disruption, and then make some you know organization become not normal on the operation. Security is only delegating the problem to the IT. Yeah, so we just let the department of IT to solve that problem alone. Yeah, so I think that what happened now. Yeah, so mostly they do that one, and then they try to you know to solve that problem. It's just like the firefighter. Yeah, so they just throw the water into the fire, but the problem is actually we not solve the core problem. So that's why here state that throwing resources and the problem is one of the common pitfalls actually. And then treating the problem as a compliant issue. Yeah, so it is also same things. So that's why we need to have new paradigm that when security event happen, so we need to think that cyber security or cyber risk need to be treated as a risk management issue, not an IT problem. So we focus not in the IT things, yeah, but in the risk. Yeah. So what happened next after it's happened? Yeah. So that would be very important. And then the company's organization must be address the cyber risk or security in a business context. Yeah. So we need to think more wide than technical. So we need to reflect that if our customer databases has been breached, yeah, something like that, and then now is spread out in the black market or something. Yeah. So we need to analyze what happened next after this. So we need to mitigate the risk that will be happen in the future. Yeah. So in this point, actually, we encourage to be like more responsive about the problem that occur. Yeah. So that the point. And the next is companies must seek out and mitigate in many levels. Yeah. So we need to analyze the risk that happen in this case in many level. It is happen in only in the simple level, or maybe actually is happen in many level. And the next is adaptation. Yeah, so we need to adapt that. We realize that the risk it will be happen every day, it will be increasing every day. So that's why we need to realize that we need to as far as we can, as fast as we need to adapt the risk. Yeah. And the most important thing why we need the cybersecurity by design approach is we need to do some calls or respond on the comprehensive and collaborative governance. Yeah, so that will be our focus. So in here we can see that when we use this strategy, secure by design strategy, actually we will think the security more strategic, yeah, more in the strategic point organization. In other words, is we think the cyber security is very important. Yeah? So that will be the point actually. So let's say most of the organization have some already identified, yeah, what is the asset, what the threat that happen into the asset, and what the control that we need to implement to securing this asset. I think in the secure by design, this point is also we need to do in the first place. Yeah. So I think we need to understand that when the company decide and make some strategic decision to make some secure by design implementation, what they need to do is identify the asset, the threat, and the control that they need as baseline. This is the baseline is needed for to prepare the worst scenario, the worst the worst scenario, but actually not the worst, yeah, but the baseline and the minimum level of the security that we can handle, yeah, something like that, yeah. So in here, like I said before, in the comprehensive framework of the secure by design, we place the asset as the first is data, people, yeah, infrastructure, and application, yeah. It's also adopted by the European Union Agency for Network Information Security. Yeah, so to securing the data, we need to identify first, if we have data, anything of data, so what type of threat that can be disturb our data, yeah. So I think we, from the survey, from the literature, from the current state of the security issue, we can find the threat like data breach, yeah, misuse or manipulation of information, and also corruption of data, yeah. The same thing, I think, with the people. So we will have the identified theft, and then man in the middle, yeah, social engineering, abuse of authorization is one of the issue on the threat of the people, yeah. And infrastructure is also same thing, I think, like a denial of services activities, yeah, manipulation of hardware, yeah, botnets, network intrusion, and malware is one of the common threats that happen into the infrastructure. So like Mas Bagas question on the chat, yeah. So if we have some backdoor activities and also maybe like worm or something, I think will be is one of the example what happened in the threat in the infrastructure, yeah. And also the application is also same thing. They also have the risk on the manipulation of software, unauthorized installation of software, misuse information system, and also denial of services, yeah. So based on this one, it is like the organization is like pushed to to realize that they have some not weakness yet, but potential risk will be that maybe occurs uh, uh, that will be occur in the futures. So in this case, actually, it is like human. Yeah, you will be invited to see yourself. There are any risks that you have, yeah, for your health, for example, and then or maybe for another issue. After that, we need, after we realize what our condition, so you will need to set your service level, and then what control that make sure that you still can give your minimum service level that you stated before. So in this case, for the asset on data, yeah, and then on the type of this threat on data, So we can implement minimum control on it. Yeah. So this is like data protection. Yeah, using the encryption method, data recovery capability, boundaries defense, and etc. Now we have also the blockchains, and also that will be also one of the control that we can implement for these purposes. Yeah. But in the people, we can implement the control access, yeah, using the user management, user right management, and etc. And then using the account monitoring, security skill and training, yeah, background screening, and then using the awareness and social control too. Yeah. In the infrastructure, we can use like a control of privileged access, monitoring of audit logs, yeah, malware defense, and then network intrusion, control, inventory, secure configuration, and also make some vulnerability assessment. It's also we can use for application. We can make some email and web browser protection and standard, and then application software security, inventory, secure configuration, and also the vulnerability assessment. So this is like we try to identify what we can do in the first place when we want to run the organization activities. Yeah, this is also important to understand. Yeah. But for you, that you need to catch the idea is about the type of the asset, threat, and control. It should be identified in the first place. Yeah, it will be reflected the secure by design itself. Yeah. So in here, after we can do that one, we have a several steps that commonly used in the secure by design processes. Yeah. The first step is we need to identify and map the digital asset that we have. Yeah, it can be include data, system, application, and also the people that I said before. And we do that across the business value chain. Yeah. So all the organization inside the organization, we need to identify all the digital asset. And the next is we need to assess the risk for each of the assets. Yeah. So we can use the survey, we can use the executive workshop, and then we need to find out what the concern of every person in the organization about the digital asset risk. Yeah. And then after that, we try to identify the potential attackers. Yeah, this is like the availability of asset to user, current control and security measure protecting the system through which access can be gained to the assets. Yeah, using similar survey workshop in the step 2 and etc. So that will be actually the challenge, yeah, for us. Yeah. And after that, we need to locate where security weakness, yeah, weakest around Crohn's jewel asset, yeah, identifying the control that should be in place to protect them by comparing the result of this assessment using the dashboard. Yeah. So, and then after that, we need to set the initiative, yeah, to address the high priority risks and control gaps. Yeah. So we need to make some like, yeah, in the easy word is plan A, plan B, plan C. So we try to simulate what happened in the future, and then we try to build some approach to minimize the risk in every one of the model that we built. Yeah, so that will be also the most important thing. So I think the last step, and then the step number 3, 4, and 5. This slide is one of the very different step that can be benchmarked with another strategy on the security. Yeah, so it's very unique, and then it will be will be distinct point of the secure by design actually. Yeah. So that will be the nice one. So yeah, who will be the person behind the secure by design? Yeah, of course the security analyst, yeah, and the chief of security officer, for example, the chief of information security, or the CTO itself that represent the CIO, yeah, chief information officer, for example. Yeah, so that will be the most important things. Yeah. So this is now become very important point for especially for management, because the threat that now happen is not dominated anymore by the hacker outside the organization, but mostly now dominated by the insider, yeah, from the organization itself. Yeah. So if we realize that one, so we have the homework on the organization. what happened in the inside of the organization. And you can see many cyber crime, many type of the cyber security incident mostly is involving the insider person that make the event happen. Yeah, so that will be also the important point for you to understand that why we need the security by design. Yeah, so yeah, I think the hacker now become the second layer of the threat that will be compromised, that our weakness, we have our weakness on our own system. Yeah, so this data from the Ferris community database show us that the insider threat present a lot of more bigger now. Yeah, even in 2012, I think it's still 50%, yeah, but now I think more big. Yeah, so that will be the potential threat in the futures. Yeah. So in the cybersecurity design, actually we also use four type of the security response, yeah, or action, for mitigating, and also for preparing the worst scenario, yeah, if the cyber event or cyber threat is happen. Yeah, so what are the method that we use for the the security by design? Yeah, the first is using the prevention and monitoring system. Yeah, so I think you can found this approach using some of the some of the tools that we already have, like in the Kali Linux, we have a Snort, yeah, we have some, for example, the IPS, IDS application, we also have the firewall application, that the kind of the application that we implement to strengthening the prevention and monitoring strategy in here, yeah. So that will be very important, yeah. So this approach, prevent and monitoring, is trying to monitoring all uh, activities, yeah, across the network, yeah, that may be the traffic of the internet, the traffic of communication, the traffic of the access, and etc. Yeah, and using the general control and prevention, yeah, using the alert system and so on. Yeah, so that will be we will have information based on the daily basis about the activity that occurs on our organization. But the risk on using the prevention and monitoring is massive number of signal. It means a lot of data. We will have a big data on the log transaction data, especially on the network and traffic data. Yeah, and then sometimes because a lot of data, we have a big data, high risk of misuse of data. We cannot use the data. Yeah, we have too many data, and then what happened? We doesn't know what we should process with the data. And also the perception of privacy invasion. Sometimes when we monitor the activity in the network, the people say that we break the privacy things, yeah, something like that. And the prevention not customized to risk, yeah, actor and action, so that we still waiting what happened in the race, so we can do some prevention, yeah, something like that. And the next typical is using the event detection. This is like the behavior or variability analysis. Yeah, we trying to using the data that already collected before in the prevention and monitoring. We try to profiling the the transaction, and then we try to classify which one is normal, which one is the anomaly, which one is categorized as a threat, and so on. So we place let behaviors of the traffic to generate the information. Yeah. So that will be also have some challenge in here, because bad behavior can be built into baseline. Yeah, huge volume of false positive. Yeah, it is commonly found when we use the AI based or artificial intelligence based in the network in the security things. Yeah, so like today I try to develop a model to classify which one is network threat. Yeah, and then we can classify using the machine learning, but unfortunately the false positive is too much here, and then make the prediction is not have high accurate, have accuracy. So that will be also the challenge actually. But sometimes we also have we found some accident, incident, security incident actually, that happen instantly. So that's why we need the investigation approach here. So we do some manual investigation in the numerous cases. So we do some mostly is using the forensic strategy to investigate the case. So this is have a challenge because it's a long backlog of cases. Little ability to prioritize investigation. So if the threat and the risk is happen because of actor, actor is mean like person or unit or something. So we need the business unit action. So we take action on the case by case basis. So we try to locate it. I think you can. Why we need to do case by case basis? Because in the first place, I state that in the security, actually, in the approach is very unique for every cases. We cannot use the general approach. We need to make some approach in very specific way. So that's why it's very important to have a case by case basis. So in the security by design, actually in this four typical approach, we use together. We use together as weapon to securing our system by design. So we place the prevention and monitoring, we place the event detection, investigation, and also unit action strategies. So as computer science, I think you already now triggering by this word that maybe the computer science things can help this happen. I think prevention and monitoring is very easy, and then it's commonly used now. The computer science that in the computer network is have these capabilities. When you have interest on the machine learning on AI-based system, I think we can implement the AI-based system to have this one, behavior analysis, and then the specific skill on the forensic or the audit, I think we can use for the investigation, and case by case will be have some data analytics issue on it. So that will be the picture why we need this secure by design. And when we try to, let's say, work on the example about in every risk and asset that we explained before it, we can see that some of them have a different level of the risk. Sometimes the risk is only on the fraud and theft, and then sometimes is make some destruction. So the destruction is very dangerous because it makes organization cannot be worked in the normal way, and then make some some loss on the, not only just in the time, but also loss of the money, loss of the value, and etc. So that also one of the challenge, especially for organization to realize that many of the asset, it will be make some company have some trouble on it. So that will be the most important things. And the next factor actually is not only just about the threat, but also the most important thing is about the persons. So the people, so the people behind the cybersecurity. Sometimes security can be occur because of the people itself. Sometimes the people have some pattern that if we have good information, we will try to tell to our friend, something like that. So same with the security. When you have, for example, the the information about sensitive data inside your organization, maybe when you discuss with your friend in the coffee shop in the very relaxed way, you not realize yet that you tell everything about the system of your company. So that will be also the very important point in the security that we think. So in here, in the secure by design, we need to classify and identify what type of people that actually the people that in our organization that from the typical, maybe the security will be occur and the risk it become bigger, yeah, than before, yeah. So in here we're using the persona, yeah. The persona is it's like, you know, some of the people will be identify and classify in what type, and then based on the type it will be you know, some of the profile, and then we can assess the risk if our sensitive data or something that about the security, we let them to handle, yeah, something like that. So that will be very important, yeah, to see this one, yeah. And the challenge is actually now the significant number of breach are still caused by employee, yeah. So most of them is using by employee because, yeah, sometimes money is everything, I think. When they offer by a huge amount of money, yeah. So yeah, in that point, the defense is weak, yeah. So that will be also the problem, yeah. And then the perimeter and encryption, it's mean the computer science approach on the encryption algorithms and etc. Actually, yes, it's helpful, but for defense is not enough. Yeah, we need a new landscape of technology. We need to a new landscape of you know, approach on the computer science that can help make some, you know, a level of security is more higher than before, yeah. So that's why we you know, we can use like blockchain technology for now in this era to help this issue, yeah, because of the, you know, the opportunity using the blockchain is more, you know, more complicated on the on the approach, and then make it more secure, yeah. So, and the nice one is the blockchain is not very, you know, it's not very expensive actually to have that one. So I think, yeah, it will can be easy for implementation. And yeah, sometimes if we let the security things on the IT department of in the organization only, the IT organization is already overwhelmed, and also sometimes they have the under resources. Yeah, so that would be also the problem, and it's make them not very fast to respond the incident, for example. Yeah, so that would be we need to consider also. So that's why our challenge by using the approach of security by design, it is possible for us to have these capabilities. Yeah, the first is anticipate attacks. Yeah, before it's happened. Yeah, so it's very important. Yeah, this is the main question. My experience after I discuss with several companies, discuss about and assess the level of their security technology. Most of them is now the question is about what happened, but can we anticipate if this event happen in the future? So that will be the next question. So I think same with you and same with me too. Our challenge, especially in the computer science, is how we make some algorithms, some approach, some application. In this case, to anticipate attacks, yeah, before it's happened. Yeah. So we have the opportunity for this. We have a big data. We have machine learning to predict and etc. We have a deep learning if we want to work on to analyze in the data on the concept of the dark web, for example, and so on. Yeah, so I think that would be also important things. Yeah, so we have this opportunity, and I believe I still optimistic that our program, yeah, that we have a very deep knowledge on the deep learning, and then we have also deep knowledge on the machine learning, AI, big data, data analytics, can answer this question. Yeah, we can anticipate. Yeah, and the next is this is the it is a very hard question actually. Detect and respond to attack in real time. Yeah, real time is one a big issue on the security because sometimes our security level is waiting until it's happened and then we investigate and then we respond. But in here is we doesn't have any time anymore to wait. Yeah, so if the tweet is happened in that moment, we need to respond immediately, so instantly. Yeah, so that will be the question. So that's why the high performance computer, the supercomputer infrastructure is one of the key players to support this need. Yeah. And then we need to also have a good strategy, especially we establishing traps, and make some alarms to contain attacks. Yeah, so that's also I think very important things. Yeah, sometimes we never know that the data that transmit to our network inside the data is wrong. For example, that Bagas said before it. So I think that's also one of the question and challenge, how we can handle and then we can intercept the data and analyze the traffic. If we found that inside the data is there any like Trojan horse or something, and we can stop, and then we will not allow the data came to our network, for example. So we need to do that one. So do some interception, like a policeman. Yeah, today, yeah, if we check your license drivers and so on, yeah, in the spot, and then we will turn around your motorcycle or your car if you are not allowed today to enter the city, for example. Yeah. And then this is the use of ring architecture. It means we need have another connection, yeah, to ensure that if we already have the tweet, and then the hacker success to manage our resources, we still have capability to do something. Yeah. Yeah, even we tweet by the backdoor, we need to have another backdoor to solve the problem. Yeah, something like that. So that will be very interesting too. So that will be the challenge actually for the secure by design. Yeah, that will be the secure by design principle that I already explained to you. Now we will try to understand the secure by design by learning the example about the implementation in the two environment. The first is in the cloud environment, and the second is in the DevOps environments. Yeah. So I think you understand that cloud environment is very challenging and very different with the common environment that we already know. We already know about the physical data center environment and so on. So that's why the security framework is we can use like a physical cybersecurity framework. Yeah. But in the cloud environment, we need to have a cloud-centric cybersecurity model. Yeah. So the secure by design itself, it should be adapt the cloud environment that exists, yeah, to support our system. So in here we have some very principal question or very principal point. Yeah. The first is how we manage the perimeter in the cloud. Yeah, that it should be the perimeter is of course secure, and how much they will re-architect the application in a way that align with their risk tolerance. Yeah. And existing application architecture, resource availability, and also overall cloud strategy. Yeah. So I think in the cloud, you already know that the issue is about the fault tolerance, service availability, and then resource usage, and then etc. So I think if we want to go to the secure by design strategy, we need to redesign the full set of cybersecurity control for cloud, yeah, especially for public cloud. Yeah. We need to redesign the individual controls, yeah, and then the company need to have a governance and rule that determine who should provide it and how they need to be, yeah, something like that. So, of course, to do that one, I think we have two things that you need to consider. Yeah, the first is clarifying internal responsibility for cybersecurity and compare to what provider will do. Yeah, so if you have to plan to go to the cloud, yeah, of course you need to set up the person that in your organization that will be responsible for it. Yeah, and then you need to clarify your security requirement to the provider. If you want to place on the AWS or maybe in the Alibaba on the Heroku environment, you can check the security checkpoint that they have. Yeah. So after that, if comply and then fit with your need, and then you can applying the DevOps environment to cybersecurity. Yeah. So this is like set up your environment for your server, for your cloud services, your storage and the access and etc. And then you maintain your performance on the cloud. Yeah, that's the meaning of DevOps. Yeah. So that's why actually why in our lab, the computer system and network laboratory promote the new courses for this semester that we call the DevOps environments course. It is actually will be breakdown in the detail how we deploy the environment that we needed in the infrastructure of data center and until the cloud. Actually, that's the point. Yeah. So this is the three model for perimeter architecture on the cloud infrastructure or cloud environment. Yeah. The first is using the backhauling. Yeah. Backhauling is mean like all public cloud access is through private infrastructure with external gateway. Yeah. So it's mean we try to secure the access from especially from the user on the public cloud using the backhauling. The backhauling is very important. And then using adopting the GSP control by default. So it's mean we apply the public cloud control with Spirit private security control. So it's mean we try to divide it into several control mechanisms, especially on the user access. And then the next is using the clean seating. So this is like best of three security control for public cloud and private cloud. So we're using the clean seating in here. So you can see that this three perimeter is very standard for the cloud. So if you plan to go live into the cloud, you cannot just push your source code into your virtual private server on the cloud. But you need to think about it. So that's why like we learn about the infrastructure of AWS, you can find that they have the services and also the architecture that we need to consider when we want to implement this point. So that's why we need the backhauling and then the GSP control and clean seating, because they have the advantages, especially on the security effectiveness, migration rate, cost effectiveness, and also the implementation itself. So that's why it's very important to have these capabilities for your system. So of course, in the DevOps environments, actually, especially when DevOps is supporting the cloud environment, we need to consider that cloud deployment process is need to support by the secure DevOps. So it's not only just normal DevOps, but secure DevOps. The secure DevOps is already have at least 5 components. The first component is architecture and design, the implementation, code review, testing, and deployment. From this processes, I think you understand that when we have application or information system that we need to deploy, we not just only directly deploy in the cloud server or infrastructure, but we need to consider several steps inside the DevOps. This is also give you information what actually DevOps discussion or point detail on the DevOps. So in here, in the DevOps application, DevOps architecture and design, actually we try to reach that architecture security is is secure, is already achieved. So your architecture of your information system or application is already secure. We not only just your application is work and then we deploy, but we need to assess to analyze the architecture, and if the architecture is appropriate in that time, we will accept your architecture to deploy. And then it's also in the implementation. So this is also we need to see that your application is already secure by the code itself. Using the code in secure way. Your modularity is good, and then other things. And even you already have the architecture and design and implementation in the good way, you still have a code review. Yeah. So this is like a secure code scanner, conduct automated code review for common vulnerabilities. We want to check that your security, your coding, your code that you has write down in your source code is not make some potential vulnerability. Yeah. So we want to check that one. So that's why it's very important. Yeah. In the last uh, in the last session, in the previous, I think the next session on the LAN stock, yeah, in the our session in Lab SKJ, we have expertise on the software testing people, yeah. So she give us insight that now, like in the game development, and then also in the some of the big architecture of application, they very considered about the do some QA tests, yeah, before the software or application is running out to the public, yeah, something like that. So the one of the activity is do some detailed code review for it, yeah. And then even you already do some code review, you will do some testing too. Yeah. So this is like we do some functional testing. We also some penetration testing. We do some peak load testing and something else that make sure that your system is ready and prepared for running in the production or in the real world. Yeah. And then you do the deployment. In this case, then you will access the cloud infrastructure and then place all your service into the cloud, and then you will have a cloud application. Yeah, so that will be an important point. Yeah, yeah. This is like, it's very detailed, and then maybe it's not easy for you, yeah, to do that one. Yeah, yeah. So, but it's more important. Yeah, and I think all the company that work seriously with the huge customer and with the very sensitive transaction will do this one. Yeah, I my previous experience is helping one of the big platform in the e-commerce in the Southeast Asia. I help them to do this operation. Yeah, check the security things on the DevOps environment before they launch the application. And then train them to do this one, and then now they can do by themselves. Yeah, and the nice thing about it. Yeah, and what happened? Yeah, and now they are in the level of the secure by design. Yeah, and they think the security in the first place when they develop the system. Yeah, so that's the important point. So what happens if we have a secure by design in the application? So I think it will be very smooth, yeah, to follow to the process of DevOps, and then your there is no, I think it will be minor revision, and then you go through to the live. Yeah, so that will be the nice one, a benefit of the secure by design on this point. Yeah. So yeah, this is of course after we consider about the DevOps, I think the company's organization need to be to complete the strategy with the strengthening the cyber security techniques. Yeah. So of course the organization need to decide which workload to move to the public cloud. Yeah. Not all the asset and resources should be pushed on the public cloud. Yeah. So I think for example, many organizations choose to move customer-facing application or analytical workload to the public cloud initially, while keeping core transaction system on premises. Yeah, something like that. So we do some combination between public and a private cloud. Yeah, and they can determine security requirement for workload that are created. Yeah, and then identifying the control and then capable of meeting security requirement for the workload. Yeah, and companies may choose multiple provider for different workload. Yeah, so but the selection should be consistent with the objective of the company overall cloud strategy. Yeah, so where we need multiple providers, so I think all the providers have the unique approach on the security services, and then we can have benefit from the difference of the method. Yeah, actually. So and then we can assign a security as a type to each workload based on the easy of migration, security posture, consideration, and external expertise. Yeah. So we can do that one. And then we can determine the level of security to enforce for each of the 8 controls. Yeah. So that will be very important. And then decide which solution to use for each workload 8 controls. Yeah. And then in the implementation phase, we need to implement the necessary control. Yeah, still, yeah, we need to do it one, integrate with other existing solution. Yeah, and then develop of new whether each control can be standardized and automated. It will be very good. Yeah, and then prioritize the first set of control to implement. Yeah, so that will be also the clue one. Yeah, because we are in the secure by design, of course, we need to also, touch the control and governance model. Yeah, we need to develop these governance models to make sure that, our approach is work well. Yeah, and then use the experience gained during the first wave of implementation to pick the next group of control to implement. Yeah, so this is also important. So when you see that one, we go to the conclusion that the holistic cyber risk management approach or comprehensive cyber risk management approach as basis of framework of the secure by design approach have this goal. Yeah, in the asset we have clearly defined the critical asset. Yeah, for the control we do the differentiated control to balance security with agility. Yeah, so that will be very important point. And the processes is state-of-the-art cybersecurity processes, focus on the effective response, and the organization is right skill, efficient decision-making, effective enterprise with wide cooperation. Yeah. So the governance is investment in the operational resilience prioritized based on the deep transparency into cyber risk. Yeah. So of course we can use the third parties for coverage the whole value chains, including third party services in the security things. Yeah, yeah. So of course, even we do some, the secure by design approach that very comprehensive, we still need to do this one, the mitigation cycle. Yeah, the mitigation cycle is we start with the identify top risk. Yeah. Risk appetite, and then assess control and vulnerabilities. Yeah, we need to do this one because I think we agree, and I also very agree that our our enemy on the cybersecurity is still growing up. Yeah, in the type, in the advance, and so on. And then we need to analyze and evaluate identified risks and their relevance to the organization, and then tweet risks that exceed the organization risk appetite, and then monitor risks and they're relevant to the organization. Yeah. So because this is like a very cycle of life of the mitigation, of course, a lot of data will be collected. Yeah, to support all these activities. Yeah. So that's why we need to have the some of the map risk level map. Yeah, about all the risks that may be occurs. Yeah, we can not only just classify the risk on the high, low, medium risk, but also we can see the several categories. Yeah, like high, medium, low, and severe. And then we can classify on the service disruption, data leakage, cyber fraud, or vendor cyber risk. It will be the common risk now. Yeah. And okay, this is only the how the illustration about how we can do some metrics on the secure by design, and then we go to the risk metric, risk appetite, and then inherent risk, yeah, control and residual risk, and then we do some measuring control compliance, and then we have the prioritization, yeah, to do some to make some immediate response on it. Yeah. So this is the illustration how we can, do some approach on the secure by design using some cloud and big data support for the cybersecurity monitoring. Yeah, we can use the resources from the asset, ID, and access control, activity of the people, configuration and management of databases that exist on our organization. And then we also collect the threat, vulnerability assessment, configuration data, and then we combine, and then we try to analyze using some qualitative and quantitative data analysis, and then we can place into the dashboard. So in that time, we will have a security monitoring and dashboard. Yeah, so that will be one of the good point that we can see that big data and data analytic and the security can set play on to support the security by design principle. So that's why now many organizations try to implement the security dashboard and analytics platform for all the digital asset that we have. And the player is still very limited because in my experience when I try to help one of the startup in Yogyakarta in the cybersecurity to develop this tool, they explained to me that the competitor is still from the the vendor, and then they are very expensive. So but unfortunately many organization and industry looking for the solution. So that also one of the challenge for you and for me too. And this is like the what we need to check. That is the dashboard will be in the form of the number of the tweet, the action that we take, the cost that we need to spend to do that one, and then from the tweet we can analyze what losses would ensue if our most important asset were compromised. For example, loss of confidentiality, integrity, and data accesses, and then the likelihood level is like which people or entities could target our asset and so on. So it will also happen in the action, cost, and also the intent, and also the vulnerability. So that will be the challenge too. So that will be important. And then this is like only the the supporting things that we can learn from it. And then this is like the example how the dashboard will be show the data, and then we can have the insight from this information, and then we can do some immediate response for it. So that will be you can also read I think in the ELOC I already placed this link about the complete report about it, and then you can learn by yourself, I think. But the summary I already summarize for you with this presentation. Hopefully it can be delivering the knowledge that you need to understand about the concept of the secure by design principle. Okay, that's it for the explanation about the secure by design principle. Any question or discussion from you?